Welcome to the Live Your Possible podcast, the show about sparking and discovering endless possibilities where we work, live, and play. A safe place where we can help you peel back the cover to what may be blocking you from being your most authentic and happiest self.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Live Your Possible podcast with your host, Darrin Tulley. Our first episode in 2024 will be just you and me. My plan for this episode is to invite you to a purpose challenge, to define your one-word purpose for the year, and to be inspired by the essential messages from our previous podcast guests in 2023 to help you see what is possible when we live a purposeful life. I will guide you how you can connect your heart to what lights you up and expand your world to the infinite possibilities that reside in you. As you radiate and expand your circle in the world, you will be enlightening others to believe they, too, are possible. In Chapter 6 of my book, Live Your Possible, it guides how you can invite the world in with purpose-driven beliefs. It is the first step to lighting up your possible mindset to become vibrant and thrive. We will discuss pieces of it today to help you begin down your path with purpose. Now, I am often asked, what do you mean by beliefs? I'm referring to the things that spark you and that open you to the world and invite you to see others in a positive light. I call these beliefs inviting beliefs because we open doors with them and not shut people or possibilities out. The key is to understand what represents a bigger you and is worth sharing with others. That way, they can see where you are coming from and understand what you want and can build on positive interactions with others. It is in us to believe and follow our hearts to a bigger and different path than people can see for each of us. Our subconscious minds often struggle with making decisions, choosing the right words to say, or knowing which actions to take or not. When we have better clarity around our beliefs and our purpose, we understand and build trusting relationships as a result. Knowing where you're going or how you want to be remembered allows you to live it out loud in a way that is clear to the world. Now, every interaction truly counts. Once we know who we are and who we want to be, we can begin to see all the things in the world in a different way. Now it is time to put all this in alignment with our purpose in life. Having this clarity and understanding simplifies our decisions and actions because we will build ourselves to align with our true selves. Do you have a personal purpose statement that is written out and that you follow and live every day? Do you have your North Star or blueprint to live out the actions and words that support how you want to be remembered in the eyes of others? Do you want people to get and understand you? Do you want to live out your legacy so it's clear of your intentions? Let's start by identifying one word that is your purpose word for the year in 2024, or wherever you are today. You can start this at any point of the year and just keep it going as long as you can. All I ask is you practice focusing on this word for at least 30 days and see what happens. Now, for those watching on YouTube, I included a list of potential words to consider that might represent you. Think about those words that are important to you, that you hope represent you when people look at you or think about you. Words like inspire, ignite, authentic, enlightenment, inclusion, happiness, connection, selfless, love, thrive, and many more. What is this single word that represents your best self, where you recall being your happiest, or most passionate, or most fulfilled, or you felt most alive? Now pause and take a minute to self-reflect on this. If you're unsure, stop this recording and come back to it later. In the meantime, go ask people that you trust and ask them to define you in one word, to see what others think. And then you decide what you want your word to be for the year and how you want to show up. Certainly having words that have meaning, a higher meaning, and connecting that to our actions will be how we show up and how we're looked at every single day. Once you define this, I truly want you to try it out, again, for at least 30 days. Write it down so it's something you read every morning, the first thing when you get up. Please read it to yourself, then start to live by it every day. until it is ingrained in you as part of your subconscious self and being. Start your day with this word. Take notice of it throughout the day. Write something down when it shows up or how it's connected to something meaningful to you. Reflect on it at the end of the day and see what you learn over the course of a year or at least 30 days. It starts to appear and show up wherever you are. You may ask, hey, did I manifest it or was it always there? Now you decide. Where you put your focused mind, the results will appear in time. It will happen time and time again when you allow your mind to focus and be set free and to accept it when it shows up. For example, one year I chose the word love. I felt squishy and uncomfortable using this word at first with anybody I met, male or female. The more I became one with this as my purpose word, not only did I feel more comfortable sharing it, love became ubiquitous in my life, with many showing up in ways I never could have imagined. These words may change periodically as you expand your comfort level and learn more clearly what you want, what your purpose really is, and the legacy you want to leave behind. When you are ready, you can form that word or words into a statement to read and live by each day until it goes from doing to being. When your purpose is understood, it becomes clearer every step you take. In fact, the words we say align with the greater purpose supported by your actions that inspire others to connect with you in different ways. Now, for additional support and to dive deeper into this concept, check out my chapter 6 from my book, Live Your Possible. I will attach an excerpt from my book from chapter 6 onto my website and put a link here to help you on your path to define what matters to you and to live your legacy again out loud each day. Then as you move forward, pick up my book and see what steps are ahead on the path of possibilities. Because as you look at the Live Your Possible book, it outlines these steps for you to create a possible mindset where you can thrive as your happy, authentic self. If you are looking for purpose words and additional inspiration, consider the stories and messages from the Live Your Possible podcast guests in 2023. These were aligned across the acronym that's leading to the path of possibilities. I will outline key points to consider from each of the guests in alignment with the path of possibilities for you to consider on the rest of the show. Before we get going any further, go stand in front of a mirror or use your reverse camera function on your phone as though you're taking a selfie, but don't take that selfie. Just take a look at yourself in the reflection. Take this moment seriously. Don't approach your reflection as though you're taking a picture to put on social media. Resist any temptation to put yourself down. And don't move by without noticing you are there. Be present with yourself. What do you see? Are you where you want to be? What do you wish was more abundant in your life? Whether you are a success in life, have areas to improve, feel unworthy, or all these combined. I need you to know I believe in you. I need you to start to think this way too. I would like you to say something to yourself out loud as you're looking into the phone or in the mirror, welcoming a special part of you to be present during our journey together, especially throughout the rest of this year. On the count of 3, I want you to say something. I want you to say hi to your future with me by saying the phrase, hi, possible. Ready? Ready on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Hi, possible. Now you're saying that to yourself. You're welcoming yourself, your uniqueness, your differences, and what's ahead for you, your potential. Good news. Every human has the pieces within them to ignite change, yet they can be hard to see. Live Your Possible bonds these pieces together, leading to an amazing life and many breakthroughs. We need to simply recode by bringing happiness into our daily routines and greeting our future selves by saying and living our possible. Because anything is possible once we acknowledge it and welcome the chance for it to become real. Now, the basis of this podcast is to help you see it and realize it, because you are possible too. The core elements of the path of possibilities welcome your human spirit to come alive and inspire focus on what is right in front of you right now. This path to possible, which is spelled out in an acronym P.O.S.S.I.B.L.E, will create curious minds to connect to a larger purpose and discover a world filled with an abundance of possibilities. Now let's hear how our podcast guests showed up and how they showed us how they lived across these steps to overcome challenges and break wide open to turning lifelong desires into vibrant realities. Happiness is the foundation on the path of possibilities for living in the present, embracing what lights us up each day that is most meaningful to you. It is the H in high as we represent high possible. My friend Richard Sheridan kicked our podcast off in 2023. I call him Mr. Joy. He shared with us how to bring joy and love into all of our workplaces and communities, along with our families. Another fun guest, Greg Kettner, the happiness architect, will help you discover the power of laughter and connecting with your happiness and mental well-being to improve your personal and professional life. Lastly, on happiness from Denmark, Alexander Kjærulf wants people to start finding happiness within themselves and find value in spreading happiness in your workplace today. Now, the other foundational component is inclusion. It is the other core element required to create possible mindsets where we all benefit and put each other on an equal playing field. Inclusion is an action verb where you actively welcome the world in to see differences as strengths. When you do, you open minds to explore and discover new possibilities that bring out the best authentic selves in all of us, including you. As we deeply explore ourselves and begin to practice inclusion, your brain will grow new skills and retrain your brain in new ways with intentional practices that enable new connections within yourselves and that allow us to be vulnerable, connecting to what brings us the most joy. Alicia Smith emphasized the impact of diversity, equity, and inclusion in creating a place where everyone, including you, has a voice. She encourages you to leave your fingerprints that can make a difference for the greater good. Now, she's one of the leaders over at Otis Elevators that's making a huge impact in the world and making sure that every voice is heard. Check that out. Now, brace yourself for a conversation with Julie Kratz that challenges you to open your mind and appreciate new perspectives, regardless of where you are on your journey toward inclusivity. She's really challenging us to do better with inclusion. Now, let's shift gears, right? We just talked about happiness and inclusion, which is the high. It's the welcoming part to what's possible. So let's shift gears to the 8 steps to possible. Now, the word possible is an acronym of 8 fundamental steps and elements to building a possible mindset. Take a listen to the supporting podcast that will inspire your purpose word to come alive and benefit around you, especially for yourself. Now, step 1, the P in possible is purpose, purpose-driven beliefs. We are actively taking this step on this episode today. It is time to connect with a personal purpose to bring the best out in yourself and invite the world in to help each of us succeed and thrive. Bringing belief, trust, and purpose together will create a sense of clarity and belonging and really become a lightning rod to spark intentional actions. One of my favorite episodes was with the regional hospital, where they made an intentional change in the medical industry that dramatically impacted quite the turnaround. The focus was turned from the patient to the caregiver with a purpose of helping people thrive, creating joy at work. Listen to how their culture shift created incredible patient safety improvements while turning the volume up on all the business results too. Then my friend, the former LA Chargers general manager, Tom Telesco, talks about not only the behind the scenes look at the world of the NFL, but also to learn how to create a mission-driven organization, foster a vibrant culture, and embrace the power of positive change. And now don't miss out on the enriching conversation with Zach Mercurio, covering why battering is the secret to people making positive contributions throughout their day, and so much more. It's all about purposeful leadership and making people matter. Now, as you're identifying purpose, purpose-driven beliefs, it connects now to the next step, which is open-minded curiosity. Self-trust will help you part from the certainty of your ways and envision new paths. In particular, this step encourages you to stop giving up with an "it is what it is" mantra or rationalizing life away in a small bubble, and embrace curiosity instead. Curiosity opens doors to new possibilities and a joyful life filled to the brim with opportunities. It's not about being the best in the world. It's about being the best for the world. Clint Pulver shares how you can be like Mr. Jensen in his life and to look at differences as strengths to discover and realize anything is possible. Clint is an example of what happens when we open our heart and mind to see the good in others. Now, Gary Ridge from Australia leads with an intentional purpose to putting people first. People first cultures deliver results where we create a culture of belonging, respect, and inspiration. It is here at the intersection we achieve true greatness in both work and life. Now, when we actually connect our purpose with open-minded curiosity, we start to really invite the beliefs in. We invite the world in. We start to build skill sets, new ways of living. So the third step is the first S in P.O.S.S.I.B.L.E, skill sets unleashed. Now invest in changing your life for the long haul by committing to a continuous learning mentality. This will help you live an inspired life. For that to happen, you need to consciously take control of your brain and retool your development mindset. Now, Tony Martinelli navigates you through change and journey to an inspired life. He also shares how lighting up yourself helps illuminate the path for others, because to spark change, it starts in you. You are worthy with the right mindset to believe in you like I do. Jeff Kozatek teaches us how to rebalance our self-worth with a champion mindset, featuring Jeff as he draws from his own experiences and insights and shares how you can unlock your authentic self and achieve a champion mindset. Debbie Hampton proves that our brain never stops growing and changing, which allows us to retrain better habits and ways of living. She also shares her science-based research to retrain our brains to beat depression and enhance happiness too. Now, all these are skill sets that make us stronger. And as we tie ourselves and align to what we see as our purpose, we start to learn new skills in new ways. We calm down, we slow down to actually let our minds be present and to get clear about what we really want in life. The fourth step is the second S in P.O.S.S.I.B.L.E, which is strong resilience. Through a reservoir of positive experiences and skills in our life, we persevere forward on our path and away from what holds us down. Discover positive learning around every corner and think about those experiences where you become comfortable learning from mistakes and differences. Now, over time, Yvonne Alston learned to take ownership of her shame, let go of what was not her shame, and live onward always. I love her purpose words here, to live onward always, which showcases how it overcomes shame and dismisses limiting beliefs. Take a listen. My friend, Dr. Anthony Perkins, opens his heart and shares multiple stories to inspire us to not settle or give up in any situation, to feed your mental hunger and be better. Moving on to step 5, it's one of my favorite. It's the I, impossible, is to imagine with wonderment. In this step, we reawaken one of the skills that served us well as children, to see things as opportunities to learn, explore, and wonder, without assuming you know everything or that you know enough already. Here we build up our conscious minds in order to boldly imagine the impossible, make dreams into reality, and embrace discoveries with childlike excitement. Wonder tends to fade as we become adults. There are two sides of the definition of wonder. One is to wonder with doubt or skepticism, and the other is to wonder with what could be or what is possible. Which side do you tend to sound like? I bet you can imagine the one that is required to live your possible. Now, just take notice of that throughout your day. That'll help you see kind of where you're looking at life, with that champion mindset or one that's limited. Now, one of my favorite episodes is with Katie Wood. She shows us how to wonder again. Katie gives us some simple ideas from her journal to live with more gratitude and happiness that turns into a habit where we go out of our way to improve each other. Imagine starting your day thinking who you are going to be and who you're going to make smile that day, and what you are grateful for, as it sends this positive spark throughout you when it happens later in that day. That's why we ask folks to actually have gratitude, so it reminds us that we're grateful for what it is when it appears later in the day. One of my favorite sayings from Katie Wood is that she said, the more you change the story in your head, the more you'll change the story of your life. Now, let's also build on the positive vibes we got with Dr. Joey Fawcett. There are these small hinges of positivity in your life. They swing open the doors to boundless possibilities. Dr. Joey explores the important role of small changes or small hinges in swinging open big doors of opportunities. Who doesn't want to live more positively that lead to more opportunities in a fulfilling future? Take a listen to Dr. Joey. Now, step 6 is one of the hardest. It's the be impossible. It's brave authenticity. In this step, we uncover the layers masking you from being your true self. We do this for vulnerability and serving others authentically with heart. Yvonne Alston joins us again. She talks about being authentic as a gift, because you're all born with it. She's back, and she's a living example of what is possible when we do. She's unapologetically authentic and living her legacy out loud. Cultivating inclusive practice with Yvonne is all about connecting hearts and minds. One of my favorite people that I met this year is Lisa Nichols, where we can gain powerful insights on seeing beyond barriers, tapping into who we really are, in the light and possibilities within ourselves and others. We all have something extra to give, as she celebrates something extra every day. Lisa's podcast, called Something Extra, asks her guests to share one thing that is special in them that makes them unique and able to make a difference. She's also a fan of purpose statements or phrases as a guide to success, as we're talking about today. In 2021, Lisa's phrase, love more. In 22, she said, be still. Now in 2023, she adopted a mantra, and it's the relentless and consistent focus on the things that matter most. Now be you and be different, she says, because we all have something extra to give. Now words do matter. Catherine Britton joined us as the midwife of words. We all have a unique voice that when heard has the power to change the world. Catherine teaches us how writing is an avenue to do just that, passing down our wisdom and stories to those who need them. She shows us how you tap into that authentic writing voice and start making an impact. Now, step 7 is linking connections, flipping our connections away from the past and into the present forward. Making connections in our current and conscious world can bring us so much joy. Knowing we can find it wherever we go will be essential to sustaining happiness every single day. Jeffrey Ma joined us to share what love means to him, why it is important in business, and how it highlights the value of building relationships with the right people and purpose. Love comes as a form of a business strategy and bringing humanity back to the workplace, according to Jeff. Now, one of my favorite mentors in life is Jane Dutton. She's one of the leaders in positivity in the movement that's really taken place over the last 30 or so years. She co-created the Positive Business Consortium at the University of Michigan Ross Business School. On our show, Jane shared tips to design a service for human flourishing at work through job crafting, building highly connected organizations, showing compassion and empathy, and creating positive meaning where people really matter. Jane invites us to make the connections that will enable human flourishing and well-being. Now, the last step is so powerful. It's when things start popping all the time. It's endless possibilities, the impossible. Life's possibilities have clearly been sitting there right in front of you all along. Now you're able to understand how to harness this potential in newfound ways and happiness habits. Minnie Cox joined us, and she talks about love, leading with love. When we get to this place, we love our possible. Everything starts popping with a different ring. Minnie Cox courageously displays how genuinely she cares for people and how to lead with love and heart. Minnie's actions are heartfelt connections that makes others feel part of something bigger and is inspired to bring their best self to do amazing work. It is the phase where sparking possibilities becomes our true realities. One of the stars of the Live Your Possible podcast is Donna Skillman. She didn't believe in the path at first until she began taking one step after another and began to feel worthy of happiness. Donna shares her journey, how she managed to stay lit with joyful hope and possibilities. She found her happiness reset button and learned to create more good in the world despite dark moments in her life. Now look for joy and possibilities to break through dark times and create more good in the world with Donna Skillman. Now, when you love your possible, living it becomes your norm. Thank you to all our courageous guests in 2023. Thank you for taking this purpose challenge in 2024 with me. I appreciate all the wisdom and love shared with all of you. I am forever grateful, and my heart is overflowing with joy. Never forget this quote: having direction and trust is knowing where you're going without knowing exactly where you will end up. Have faith and believe. I believe in you. Make the days ahead the best ones yet. I wish you an abundance of love, happiness, and good health each day. Enjoy the purpose challenge and reconnecting back with your happy, authentic self to live and love your possible. See you next time.
That's all for today's episode. If you liked the show, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Live Your Possible dares to unlock your fullest potential and become an avenue for others to do the same. Join the community by visiting ignitehappy.com. It's time to discover endless possibilities with equal opportunity for all. See you again next week for more insights on how you can live your possible.